Once upon a time, in the small village of Pinewood, there lived a young boy named Oliver. Oliver was known for being kind, but he had one little problem. He always had a bad attitude. No matter what happened, he would find something to complain about. If it was sunny, he'd say it was too hot. If it rained, he'd grumble about the mud. His friends liked him, but they often got tired of his negativity. One day, while Oliver was walking through the village, he saw something unusual, a bright blue bird perched on the branch of an old oak tree. It wasn't just any bird. This one sparkled like a gem under the sunlight. Its feathers shimmered in shades of blue, green, and gold. Oliver had never seen anything like it. Curious, he approached the bird. As he got closer, the bird spoke. "Hello, Oliver," it chirped in a friendly voice. Oliver stepped back in surprise. "A talking bird. How do you know my name?" he asked, wide-eyed. "I know many things," the bird replied with a wink. "I also know that you have a problem with your attitude." Oliver frowned. "My attitude? What's wrong with my attitude?" The bird chuckled. "It's not what's wrong with it, but how much it's holding you back. You see, attitude is a little thing, but it makes a big difference in everything you do." Oliver crossed his arms. "What do you mean?" "Well," the bird said, fluttering its wings, "when you focus on the bad, you miss all the good. I can help you change that, but it will take some work. Are you willing to learn?" Oliver wasn't sure. Could his attitude really make that much of a difference? He shrugged. "I guess." The bird smiled. "Wonderful. Let me show you something special." With a flap of its wings, the bird flew off, leaving a trail of sparkles in the air. It swooped down toward the base of the oak tree and landed in front of a small, hidden door. Oliver had never noticed the door before. It was tiny, just big enough for a mouse to fit through. "What is that?" he asked. The bird tapped the door with its beak, and it magically expanded until it was tall enough for Oliver to walk through. "This is the door to the land of attitudes. In this place, you will see how attitude can change everything around you." Oliver hesitated, but his curiosity got the best of him. He stepped through the door and found himself in a completely different world. The sky was a brilliant shade of blue. The grass was greener than any grass he had ever seen, and flowers of every colour stretched as far as the eye could see. "This place is amazing," Oliver exclaimed. The bird flew next to him. "Yes, it is. But remember, it's your attitude that will shape what happens here. Come, let's explore." As they walked, they came across a large field where children were playing a game of catch. Oliver noticed one boy sitting off to the side, arms crossed, looking grumpy. He wasn't playing with the others. "Why isn't that boy playing?" Oliver asked. "Let's go find out," the bird said. They walked over to the boy, whose name was Max. "Hi, Max," Oliver said. "Why aren't you playing with the other kids?" Max sighed. "I tried, but I'm not good at catching the ball. Every time I miss, they laugh at me." Oliver could see the frustration on Max's face. He had felt that way before too. "Maybe you could ask them to help you practice," Oliver suggested. Max shook his head. "No, they'll just keep laughing. It's no use." The bird leaned in and whispered to Oliver, "Max's attitude is stopping him from having fun. His fear of failure is bigger than his desire to play." "But you can help him see things differently," Oliver thought for a moment. "Hey, Max, I used to get upset when things didn't go my way. But I learned something important. If you keep a positive attitude, things can get better. You won't always catch the ball at first, but if you try and stay positive, you'll improve. And if someone laughs, just laugh with them." Max looked at Oliver, unsure. "Do you really think that will work?" "I do," Oliver said confidently. "Give it a try." Max hesitated, but then he stood up and walked over to the other kids. Oliver and the bird watched as Max joined the game again. At first, he missed the ball a few times, but this time, instead of getting upset, he laughed along with the others. Soon enough, Max started catching the ball more and more. His attitude had shifted, and now he was having fun. See, the bird said. A small change in attitude made a big difference. Oliver smiled, realizing that the bird was right. Attitude really did matter. But their adventure wasn't over yet. As they continued walking through the land of attitudes, they came to a beautiful garden. The flowers were bright and colourful, but one particular flower stood out. It was a large sunflower, but it looked sad. Its petals were drooping, and its vibrant yellow colour had faded. "Why is that sunflower so sad?" Oliver asked. The bird fluttered its wings. "That sunflower is unhappy because it thinks it's not as pretty as the other flowers. It spends so much time comparing itself to others that it forgets how special it is." Oliver felt a pang of sympathy for the sunflower. "But it's beautiful in its own way," he said. "Exactly." The bird agreed. "It just needs a little reminder." Oliver knelt down beside the sunflower and spoke gently. "Hey, sunflower, you're just as beautiful as any other flower. You stand tall and bright, and people love you for being you. Don't compare yourself to others, shine in your own way." The sunflower seemed to perk up a little. Its petals lifted slightly, and its colour began to return. "Thank you," the sunflower whispered in a soft voice. "I needed that." As they left the garden, Oliver felt a warmth in his heart. He realised that helping others see the power of a good attitude also made him feel good inside. The more he helped, the more his own attitude began to change. Their final stop was at a hill overlooking the entire land of attitudes. The view was breathtaking, with rolling hills, sparkling lakes, and forests full of life. But as Oliver stood there, he noticed something odd. In the distance, there was a dark, stormy cloud hanging over part of the land. "What's that?" Oliver asked, pointing to the cloud. The bird's expression grew serious. "That's the land of negativity. It's where people go when they let their bad attitudes take over. It's a place where nothing ever seems to go right because people refuse to see the good in anything." Oliver frowned. He didn't want to be in a place like that. "Can we do anything to help?" The bird nodded. "We can always help, but it starts with choosing to change our own attitudes. You've already seen how much difference a little shift in thinking can make. If you focus on the positive, you can bring light even to the darkest places." Oliver looked at the bird, and then back at the cloud. He thought about all the times he had let his bad attitude ruin a perfectly good day. He didn't want to be that way anymore. "I want to help," Oliver said. The bird smiled proudly. "You already have. By changing your attitude, you've made the land of attitudes a brighter, happier place. Now, whenever you face a challenge or something goes wrong, remember this lesson: your attitude is a little thing, but it makes a big difference." With that, the bird led Oliver back to the door they had come through. As they stepped through, they found themselves back in Pinewood, standing in front of the old oak tree. Oliver looked around. Everything seemed the same, but he felt different. Lighter. Happier. "Thank you," Oliver said to the bird. "I understand now. I'll work on keeping a positive attitude from now on." The bird nodded. "Remember, it won't always be easy, but it's always worth it. And when you need a reminder, just look for me. I'll be around." With a final wink, the bird flew off into the sky, leaving a trail of sparkles behind. From that day forward, Oliver made a conscious effort to have a positive attitude. When things didn't go his way, he tried to see the bright side. If he made a mistake, he laughed it off and kept trying. And soon, his friends noticed the change in him. He was happier, more fun to be around, and even when challenges came his way, he faced them with a smile. Oliver had learned that attitude really was a little thing that made a big difference, and he was better for it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Stories Desk YouTube channel for more stories.